Hey everyone, quick disclaimer before we get started. You'll notice this episode's a bit shorter than they've been for the last couple of weeks, and that's because we had some technical issues that essentially some of the audio just stopped at some point, and we've got other audio, and it's just kind of all a mess. So at some point when the audio stopped, we're just going to kind of fade out from there, figure out some technical wizardry to make it seem a little more seamless. But all that to say, we had a great time talking, but unfortunately, you won't get to hear the latter half of that conversation. All the Q&A will just move on to next week, and we'll talk about it then. So we'll have a long Q&A next week. But thank you so much for stopping by, and enjoy the rest of the episode, even if it's a little bit shorter than it has been recently. Thanks.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the 49th episode of Directly to You. I am AJ. I am joined by Parker.
Yo, what's up?
As has been the norm. But also.
Hey, what's up, guys? I don't know if you guys remember me from, other episodes, prior episodes, prior videos on the channel. I'm not sure.
He's some dude. You might have saw his face if you clicked on the channel or whatever. I don't know. But more importantly than that, dude, is you guys, the members. If you're a member, you just get cool stuff. You know what I mean? You get exclusive emotes, you get gaming time with us, you get loyalty badges, you get free Switch keys from time to time, you get priority when I play games on twitch.tv/Fanatics4 or youtube.com/Fanatics4. If you want to join the vaunted few that are those YouTube members, you can go to youtube.com/Fanatics4 and click that join button. It's cool. It's fun times. Mm-hmm. Also, there's the Anchor Listener Support Program. You can pledge anywhere between $1 and $10. If you pledge at that $5 mark that YouTube members pay, you get the same perks except for the loyalty badges, because I can't do that, I can't call YouTube and say, hey, give them loyalty badges and badges. I can't do that. I don't have that power. But you'll have all the power in the world if you become a member, and you'll give us more power to make cooler stuff. How you guys doing?
Yes.
How you guys doing?
Doing
great. Feels good to be back on the on DTY, and just back in general.
Mm-hmm.
Truth.
Yep. Yeah.
You guys playing any of the video games?
I don't know if you've heard of this Smash game that you talk about all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm going through and just like trying to clean up. I'm kind of a completionist at heart, and so I honestly I'm not fantastic at Smash, but It's a lot of fun, and so I end up just doing a lot of I'm going through the challenge board right now and just trying to get all those knocked out. So there's a couple of those that I know for sure I'm going to have a friend over and spend a while getting.
Well, no, I respect that you I'm not that fantastic as Smash, because a lot of people were like, man, I'm the
talk
big
smack.
I'm that guy.
Everybody does. Everybody that I know is I'm the best players. But and being on the internet, I'm getting it from all angles. Everybody's I'm gonna destroy you in Smash Bros. So I had to make the rounds and disrespect everybody's life. Some people I had to scare them before the game came out. I had to be all right, let's play Smash for Two Stock and Bob on his stream and whatnot.
Yep.
And then I told him that I was gonna, when Smash Ultimate came out, I was going to get that 3 stock, and this week it happened. I did it.
Sure did. I was watching live and I was like, goodness.
I destroyed this man. And even better than that, and Logan, from playing with me, I don't care about spikes. I don't go for that crap.
Right.
I'll do the edge guard and stuff, but I don't really care to spike. I spiked him with Ivysaur because he's so hype about the Falcon dunk, so I had to do it. It
was beautiful.
I had to get the Ivysaur spike. And I've been on that high ever since. Even though, Bob's decent. He's decent. He's not. I would say that, and I think I mentioned this to you, Parker, is that I wouldn't say Bob is a great Smash Brothers player. He's a great Captain Falcon player.
Oh, really?
Any other character, he's meh, but he's good with Captain Falcon.
I gotta see this. I gotta see him. Him in action.
Right. So fighting him with Captain Falcon is like a thing, because usually like I can turn my brain off, I can pick whatever character with most people I'm playing against.
Yep.
But when I'm fighting against Bob with Captain Falcon, I have to pick Inkling or Pokemon Trainer or somebody I feel comfortable with.
Right.
So
somebody
is it the stage where it's like, because like, okay, so like from hearing that, it's like, okay, I know you got to focus, but is it to the point where it's like, I don't know if I'm going to win this match?
No.
Okay. Like, I was about to say, if it's like that, then I'm like, okay, I'll respect.
Bob, and this was another thing that came up. Bob has beaten me in one best out of 3 ever. And that was because, he's going to say excuses, but we were streaming it, me, him, and Dan, and me and Dan are just sitting there on the sidelines most of the game. He's playing with viewers and stuff. He's getting warmed up, and then the first game I play is the set that we do. So it's like, you're over here in your prime with Captain Falcon. I just picked up the game.
Yeah.
So it was like, I don't know about that, but the immediate next stream, I 2-0'd him in our next 3 best out of 3 match, and then haven't lost to him since. So it's like, I think it's well established where the hierarchy is.
The spike thing made me think of, so again, like I was saying, I've been doing the challenges and stuff, and I think one of my favorite parts of that is trying to get as many of the challenges in one match as possible, because like there's some that are kind of complementary. So for example, one of them is in All-Star Smash, damage an opponent 3 times as Luigi with a taunt, which is his little like kicky foot thing. And it does like 2% damage, but it's a spike, but if it only does it when you're on the ground. So like the only way to actually like kill somebody with it is if they're ledge grabbing and don't have invincibility frames anymore. And so I was like really gunning for getting that one and get a meteor smash in the same one. And I had to try a couple times, but I was able to get that. And then on my third one, somebody, I don't know, was ledge grabbing, and I managed to meteor spike him off. And it's just like so rewarding to get multiple different things on at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
It's fun.
You just check the checklist off like all at once. Like, this just feels great.
That's the goal. I think my record. Yeah, exactly. My record is, I think, 3 different ones at the same time. But it's like, it's not that hard if you go in and kind of plan it out. You know, like, okay, so you play as Ken, I'll play as Incineroar, blah blah blah. You know, that kind of stuff. But it's for my completionist brain, it's very rewarding to have that work that way.
I feel like that's the only like part of Smash Brothers that I play in the way that I think Sakurai intends you to, where it's just like
accidentally happen upon
like it. Exactly, like it's here. You know, just play the game as you would, and if you complete it, you complete it. I don't even look at that board.
I was gonna say I never like that's just never been a thing for me in any Smash game. Like the whole like challenges parts, I'm just like, okay, it's there. You know, I just never personally, I've never.
The only part of that board that I completed is the other thing and online. That's it. That's the only part of the board that I completed, and it just that was just through playing the game as normal.
Right,
exactly. And that totally makes sense. I think with it too is I'm just not super competitive, so I don't spend. If I don't have a reason to like go, or I just don't go in intentionally being like, you know what, right now I'm going to spend a while just getting better. Which not to say
that's not like I'm going to get Elite Smash right now.
Because it's just like, I don't know, that's, you know, not my priority specifically. So for me, it's more like I use the challenge board type stuff as a reason to go in and like, it's the same with Breath of the Wild, where I had stopped playing it before the DLC came out because I'd done literally everything in the game. Then the DLC comes out and it's like, there's just more things for me to do. And like, I love playing the game, but if I don't have, you know, something to go in and do on purpose or some kind of achievements that I'm getting for it, then, you know, I just don't end up doing it, I guess.
How do you guys, okay, I got two questions because I know you guys take on either one. How do you guys feel about Piranha Plant?
Like we're actually going to get into that.
Okay, cool.
Spoilers for Q&A.
Okay. Kingdom Hearts 3?
We had this discussion. Me and Parker on the podcast. Because it's like there's parts of it that I like I like the aesthetic of it, and I like Disney, and I like it's the anime meets Mickey Mouse, cool. But there's a lot of stuff that I feel like is over exaggerated by Kingdom Hearts fans, and that makes me like the game less. Where it's like there's a lot of people that are like, this is going to be game of the year for the game comes out, and it's like, no, this game's been in development for 12 years or something like that. Chances are it's not going to be that great compared to how good you think it's going to be. because game development doesn't work like that. It's not like, let's just keep adding more stuff and it'll get good.
Right.
Just add more and more stuff.
You got to wonder how many times they restarted as well. Just,
Yeah.
It's bound to have happened at least once.
Right.
Yeah. It pretty much, like, basically, like, as I expected. Like, it's a good game, but is it worth, the time, the time it took? No, absolutely not.
That said, I don't hate the game.
Right, exactly.
I just don't think it's great. I mean, I'd give it a 7. I give it a 7 out of 10. That's what I would give Kingdom Hearts 3 so far. And I think that most of that is owed to everything but the story. Because the story is like, and I get it, like I know the background, like you already know that we're working on that whole thing of like we're going to like do basically what Barry Kramer did and do like explain Kingdom Hearts in like a comical way, that whole video. So I know the story. It's just poorly told. And it's like, because they're not good at structuring how they tell a story and developing conflict and introducing characters that matter in one way or another, it makes the game arbitrarily complicated.
And the thing that like kind of amused me about it, like just from the start, Kingdom Hearts 3 itself has the segment where it's like, okay, the story so far, right? And they kind of explain to you, but even they leave out parts and pieces of like these other games. I noticed that I'm like, this is weird. Like they didn't. There's certain things they just didn't mention or just glossed over. I'm like, it's really weird to me.
I mean, that's the kind of thing where like I feel like I watch a bunch of shows that have the whole like previously on blah blah blah, and then they go into that. But I'm also watching those shows. I've never gone in and just started a new show from season 4, episode 9, and just tried to find out, like, if I watch just this previously on, is it going to mean anything to me at all? And I suspect probably not. And I feel like probably Kingdom Hearts 3 is the same kind of thing.
The thing that's different between that and games is like, for one, with Kingdom Hearts specifically, the time investment. Like a lot of like diehard Kingdom Hearts fans are going to tell you like you'll only love it if you spend 90 hours in all of the games. But nobody has time for that. They just want to play the new hotness. Like everybody's talking about Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm curious. I want to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
My wife,
like,
for example,
right.
my wife doesn't play a whole lot of games. We don't have a PS4. I've just got a Switch and some older consoles and stuff. And she was like, I've been hearing a lot about this Kingdom Hearts game. We should get a PlayStation so that we can play that. And I was like, there's a lot of reasons that I should get a PS4. One of the reasons not to right now is just money, but I'm not going to get a whole console for a game that maybe you'll like.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, whenever eventually we do get a PS4, or if it does come to Switch, 100% I'll get it and I'll play it with her or let her play it or do whatever she wants. But it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like it maybe, oversells itself in some ways. But I mean, some people obviously absolutely love it, but that's not to say it's like the world's best game at the same time.
I think the gameplay is the strongest point.
Yep.
I think the gameplay
is
the combat is fun. Once you, and even that is like it's an RPG. So like you kind of have to find the fun in the combat at first because just how the game gives you your abilities, like how you are off the bat, it's like it feels like incomplete. Like it feels like the game punishes you for not knowing, like, oh, I have to enable this ability so the chain continues with this combo, so the combat feels fluid. You have to like check off things and check on things with the available points that you have. So it's like, until I found that out, I was like, all right, this game feels like clunky and annoying.
Yeah.
But once I saw that, I was like, oh shoot, like this is an RPG, like that makes sense. But it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. But speaking of, it makes sense, but I don't know. We're hearing rumors about the next Nintendo.
You know what? You tried. Pretty good.
No, Parker understood what I was saying. Because for the past 2 months, we've been like, it's coming. Nintendo Direct is happening.
Man alive.
And we're at that place again.
Every single week, yeah. It's exactly that, where it's like, no, I mean, it would make sense for them to do this next week because of blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And they're just like, nah, we good.
Yeah, so...
you mean the Direct has been rumored for a month?
Forever. You know how what was that? It was I don't even remember. It was like the September Direct or something like that everybody was calling the September Direct. That's the situation that we were in January.
Yep.
Except this time it didn't happen.
It just didn't happen.
People need to stop dubbing stuff the X Direct unless we know for a fact it's happening. Until Nintendo's like, yo, this January we're having a Direct. Because I feel like Nintendo is like, oh, everybody's calling this the January Direct.
We gotta
you
switch it
guys
up?
think that you control me? You think that you can tell me what to do?
Just got a power play going.
Right,
Rescheduling it.
Yep.
Pushing it back 6 weeks just because you thought.
Yep. Man alive. But yeah, no, so it's the Rumor Direct. Some details and things about it, I guess, too. King Zell, he was the guy that we talked about a couple weeks ago, who mentioned the potential, the 2D Zelda game and the Metroid Prime trilogy, and then also the potential Breath of the Wild thing, those comments a while ago. So it's that guy again who he actually has made a lot of correct predictions, or not predictions, but like leaked stuff correctly in the past.
Right.
So, but it was on like a subreddit or something for direct guesses and stuff, where it's everybody's like, oh, where's the direct happening? And he just popped in there for a second, and he was like, the 13
you called?
Yeah.
it's like
You rang.
Yeah, right.
So he just popped in there, and he was essentially teased that the 13th, either that it would happen on the 13th or we'd hear about it on the 13th. I don't know. I would guess that we hear about it on the 13th and it happened the 14th, but who's to say? And then also teased a couple of games that either would be announced then or just like that are supposed to be coming out this year, according to him. So yeah, which those, I don't know. If people don't want spoilers, I mean, I guess skip ahead a bit.
Pikmin 3, which give us Pikmin 4.
Yep.
Super Mario Maker 2, Box Boy, and the newest 2D Zelda and Pokemon game.
Yeah, give me all of those.
Which I'd be most hyped for the 2D Zelda and Pokemon game. But, the other ones are cool too.
Yep.
You're fired. Super Mario Maker 2 is hype AF. Best game on the list.
I mean, that's cool. I'd be hyped for just Mario Maker 1, just
True.
Bringing that to the Switch.
Yeah, because you're dumb and you also didn't play it on Wii U.
That is true. That is very true. I didn't. All right, sue me.
I think the one of these, honestly, that's the most interesting to me. So obviously Pikmin 3. Well, so this talks a little bit about another rumor that I mentioned later in these comments or whatever, but that Emily Rogers earlier this week, also who's another notorious leaker, and leaked that these games would be coming to the Switch, but she didn't give titles. She just gave kind of vague descriptions. One of them was a Wii U port from 2013, which Pikmin 3 is a Wii U port from 2013, and then another one was just an eShop title, but that Nintendo published, which I guess would be Box Boy, which is interesting. That already would kind of line up in any case. And the Box Boy one I think is interesting to me too, just because since we talked about the Switch Mini kind of stuff last week I think last week, maybe it's 2 weeks ago. It seems like there's a lot of games coming out this year that are like the handheld equivalent games, the Pokemon main series game and Animal Crossing, and a lot of those that found their success on the handheld, and that Box Boy is a 3DS franchise that's now moving over to the Switch. So 100% 3DS is dead this year. With all that,
rightfully so.
Right.
Yeah, we've been telling.
It's been dead to me for about 2 years now, but it's just fine. It's just
I'm with you there, Logan. I'm with you there.
Yeah, so it's
it's been dead to because the 3DS died when Smash Wii U came out. At that point, it was like, all right, I have no reason to play this really. I'd played Sun and Moon. I'm pretty sure came out after that. I played that, but it was that was literally the only reason why I even looked at my 3DS. At that point, it was I don't even want to play this on 3DS. I just am forced to because it's Pokemon, and I can't not play Pokemon. What?
Yep.
What type of stuff is that? That's some type of universal law that AJ has to play Pokemon.
Yep.
And it's not a situation where it's it's dead because it's but that the 3DS is phenomenal. The library is absolutely incredible, but it's just that we need to focus on Switch. And that's the point we've come to.
Right.
Because
if for some reason your entire gaming budget for like 3 years is like what, $500? Don't get a Switch. Get a 3DS because you can get every game known to man on there. But if you have like any level of disposable income and can afford to buy a Switch, get a Switch, man. Like, what are you doing with your life?
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. So these are, I don't know. It's just interesting to me. I don't think all of these would be in this direct anyway. I could totally be wrong, but like, I don't see the Pokemon game being in this direct. You guys?
I could see Nintendo saying, "Hey, here's a whole bunch of stuff, and we'll talk about it later," because they do that a lot.
Yeah, something like real light, not anything obviously in any detail, like you know, that, anything in any great length, but because I just think it's far too early. But yeah, I just mentioning, hey, you know, we haven't forgot about your wink, wink, and that, you know, that'd be cool. I can see that happening.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
and
for
even
sure.
Even if they don't, like, this year's already stacked. They could literally not announce any big first party thing.
Yep.
And they're set already. They have we have Animal Crossing coming. We have Pokemon coming. We have Luigi's Mansion, which is like cool, I guess. But Pokemon and Animal Crossing that's going to sell another 20 million Switches. So it's like there's not really anything that they need to do beyond that. But anything extra is appreciated, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, and I can't. I mean, this is, again, conspiracy theory territory or whatever, but I wonder if there was stuff that was just planned for even like February and earlier on in March. Those maybe smaller stuff that they were like, you know what, this financial year's done. We'll just kind of call it and let it ride out as it is and then go really hard into the next fiscal year. Because obviously they're really gunning for this next fiscal year because it's stacked.
Right.
Yeah, craziness.
And we need to be stacked with more ports. We need to have more games on the Switch, and I think we all can agree with that. And, you know, a series that many people enjoy. I played a couple of them myself, and I enjoy it as well. Devil May Cry. All right, now. Apparently, I'm gonna butcher this name. Hideki Itsuno was asked on a press tour whether Dante may join the Smash roster, and he goes on to say, when you think about it, I'm pretty sure that all the characters in Smash, at least have some game on the Nintendo platform, right? Well, that's the thing. Devil May Cry has never been on the Nintendo platform, so it seems like the first thing to do would be to get Capcom to put Devil May Cry on the Nintendo Switch platform in some way, shape, or form. Whatever game that may be. So what are you guys' thoughts on, do you think that...
So, as far as the Capcom situation goes, the wink, wink, nudge, nudge, I'm not going to go too deep in the port begging because that may or may not be something that I'm going to talk about in depth on Tuesday.
You don't say.
But Capcom, with this nonsense, I mean, Bayonetta is Devil May Cry. So, like, people like Bayonetta, why can't you see that, you know? Why can't you see the fact that, again, I'm not going too deep into that. But yeah, put Devil May Cry on Switch.
Yeah.
Basically. I don't even particularly care. I won't even play this game. But, like, at this point, put it on Switch.
Yep. I think that's the frustrating thing with me to this. So, and then like a little addendum to that too is even afterwards, he mentioned that like, hey, you know, if you want to see Devil May Cry on Switch, like tell this, I don't know, whoever was the Capcom representative, whatever, and that she would, you know, like let upper management know or whatever, that kind of thing. But it's, you know, so just essentially asking for people to port beg, as it were, quote unquote, for the games to come on. But like, yeah, they've seen the success already. And I do wonder, there's some franchises, and especially, or like smaller companies that have more to lose, like indie developers. They may legitimately be like, okay, so like Switch audience, do you guys actually want this on your console? Because like we'll do it, but you know, it's more of a it's more of a risk or a financial investment or whatever. But like, there's no risks involved at this point
I'm
for
just saying,
Capcom.
whatever happened to market research?
Yeah.
tweeting out to people saying, "Hey, tell us if you will buy this thing," is just like stupid and lazy.
Yeah.
You know, because like if somebody tweets out a poll, like say we tweet out a poll and say, "Hey, we're going to stream something. What game do you want us to stream?" People that have no plan on watching that stream are going to vote because they just like to vote for things. Like, it's just, you want to have your opinion heard regardless if anybody cares or not, you know?
I mean, it's
So,
yeah. Smash Ultimate didn't come to the Switch because people were asking for the next Smash game in every single like direct or Nintendo thing.
Right.
It came because Nintendo was like, all right, we're going to put out Smash Ultimate when we put out Smash Ultimate. And that's it.
So Capcom, stop being dumb and put your stupid game on the Switch.
Perfect summary.
Indeed. There's something else that we would have, I don't know, thought was dumb, but kind of isn't, maybe, is whether or not Xbox Live is coming to Switch. So this one, actually, AJ, you talked about this in your video, so we'll get more into some of the weeds of this, but just to kind of give a summary as well, that in March at the Game Developers Conference, Microsoft is going to be there, and they'll have a panel on Xbox Live coming to other platforms, which because historically so far it's just been on Xbox and PC, and so we're talking about having it on like iOS and Android and the Nintendo Switch, which is kind of crazy. And then that's pretty much all the official information we know about it so far. So everything past that's just speculation. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, AJ, you gave some thoughts on it in your video, but I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on what exactly that would be, or if you're excited for it or not?
Logan?
I think I just find it interesting, and I'm glad that, you know, there in some ways there is like you know, paving the bridge as far as like having these consoles be interactive between each other, and you know, showing that it's not, you know, we're not all out for blood. You know, we can come together. I think and people are like, oh well, you know, what are they going to do? What is this going to be? As far as I just think it's you know. It'd be a way to, you know, they're going to add the app onto the Switch, and you'll be able to see, you know, you just see your community of Microsoft friends, and, you know, it's going to, I just think it's a really good move for them, especially on the Switch. And let's say for whatever reason, this expands out and broadens, and, you know, as far as like, okay, this is cool. You know, we have our Switches, and we're not really, I'm not sure why they would, by someone who's not familiar with Xbox would even get this on the Switch, but it's a, you know, it's something that maybe it turns more eyes onto. You know, I'm not exactly like I said, like if you don't have both already, but I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's a cool way to then close the gap.
I think that this speaks a lot to less of how gamers think that companies work because of the whole, like, you know, Sega ad campaign that like poisoned the conversation around how consoles work, and more about how like it actually is, you know, where it's like all different companies, they may be competitors in a certain field, but sometimes it benefits them to help each other out, you know, like Samsung makes Apple cameras for iPhones, you know, like Microsoft literally bailed Apple out from going bankrupt in the late 90s or whatever. So it's like it's just that type of stuff that's like competition is healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And like this being something that Microsoft does for Nintendo could potentially help them in one way or another. Because one, Microsoft is after user base. That's what they care about. That's why they're not sitting here like, oh, we have one console, buy that one so we can fluff up our numbers. Our games are exclusive. You don't get them on PC. Screw you, because that makes our Xbox look cooler. You know, they don't care about that. They just want you to play the game. That's all they want. They want to be able to tell their stockholders, hey man, we have access to 1 billion devices. When we make a game, potentially 1 billion people could buy it. You know, like that's what they care about.
Yep.
That's a different business model from Nintendo, who's like, hey, we have this platform and people buy our games on that platform and we make a profit off of that individual platform, and that's what our business model is.
Yep.
And same thing with Sony, where it's like that's their business model. Microsoft has a different thing going on. So it behooves both of them to try to work together in that, because they can both get what they want out of each other. Nintendo can please their current user base by improving their online infrastructure with the help of somebody that's been doing it since it's been, they basically invented the idea of having online infrastructure. Yeah. So it's like, it's just,
I think
it's a win-win.
I think the competition thing is a really good point too. So an example of that, I live in just outside Nashville, Tennessee, and there's two bars that were started by the same guy and owned by the same guy or whatever. One's called Winners and one's called Losers, and they're right next to each other. And the whole point is like this rivalry between the two bars, but the same dude owns both of them. And they both like thrive because it's a competition of like, no, Winners is better because blah, 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 blah. And, you know, Losers is better because this and that. So like having that competition is really healthy. And I think another thing too is just that like, Microsoft and Nintendo have complementary things that each other needs, kind of like you were saying, AJ, where especially like Nintendo has a super strong stronghold in Japan, where the Switch is about to outpace the PS4 within the 2 years that it's been out compared to the PS4's, 5 years.
It doubled its pace.
Yeah, literally. Exactly. It's insane. And so it's possible that this is something where Microsoft's just been like super struggling to get into Japan, which is a huge gamer market for so many years now. And if this is some way that they can step into that, and then, sure, maybe Japanese gamers don't want to buy an Xbox, but they would buy a Nintendo Switch and then stream Xbox or Microsoft games of some sort through their Nintendo Switch that they already own. And that was something you talked about, AJ, in the video too. But I think that's the upper end of what's kind of possible on this. So it's definitely possible that we're thinking way too much into it, but you never know.
That would be the ideal situation for them. Right. But if I'm in Japan, like, I don't care about Microsoft. I don't care about the Xbox or
But see, that's the thing though. That's how you grow to care about literally anything.
Yeah, right.
Nobody cared about PlayStation exclusives until they just had a PlayStation.
Right.
And then you grow to love that, especially since, that toxic attitude that Sega bred in gamer. The idea that I have a PlayStation, so I care about Kratos and I think he's better than Mario.
Yep.
That is what that becomes, where it's like if you have a Switch rather than a PS4 and definitely an Xbox in Japan, and that has Xbox Live becomes what you use.
Yep.
And that those exclusives in the event that they do use xCloud on Switch and stuff like that, if they do that, then that becomes a part of that argument.
Yep. It's like if you have something a brand or whatever that you want someone to like, typically you wouldn't try to get them, show them how amazing it is necessarily on the front end so much as what the important thing sometimes could be just getting it to a neutral ground where they'll be like, you know what, sure, I'll try it. For example, I didn't really care particularly about Andy Samberg or Terry Crews, just one way or another, kind of just neutral about them. And then somebody told me Brooklyn Nine-Nine was great. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot, I guess. And I watched it. And now, those guys are amazing and hilarious. And so, but it just took, something where it was neutral ground where it's like, whatever, I'll just give it a shot. So if Xbox Live is on the Nintendo Switch where it's kind of neutral ground, something you can just give it a shot, it's got a free month demo or free, something like that to let anybody in just one time so that they can see what, that's not that bad. I think I might get in on that. Yeah, I don't know. And that obviously would help out Nintendo because it would bolster their lineup of the third-party games, the AAA kind of games that maybe can't run very easily or that people can't port, or otherwise, I don't know, any other number of things and all that. Yeah.
Speaking of Nintendo is trying to make their developers better. And I'm all for that, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, AJ. Speaking of beautiful, I love it. Yeah. This is a quote that I pulled. I don't know. I'll read it real quick. This is from the Q&A that we had the other,
the business
that's the
investors.
One. And it's actually part of the same question that prompted will games that'll delight, fans or whatever. But so this was Miyamoto in response to that question. And he said, I have a very positive attitude about R&D investment. Because we are cooperating with other companies on software development, we're working on a larger scale than what can be handled solely within the company in terms of managing software development. But even as we expand the development scale, it is important that we firmly maintain Nintendo-made quality of the software. I know some people say we just need to hire more developers. we aren't merely focused on increasing development staff, but we are focusing on nurturing more developers adequately within Nintendo. I want us to actively invest in the products we develop in order to maintain the quality we desire. Cut.
Yeah, I mean, this to me, this feels like more of a non-comment than anything, because Miyamoto has been about that for a long time now.
Yeah.
Where he's been breeding the next generation of Nintendo developers. That's why like something like Splatoon exists, because it started out as this thing of like, hey, why don't you make this Mario game? And they're like, nah, fam. We want to make Inklings. We don't want to be Mario.
Yeah.
That's not us. That's you. So like that's just been, I feel like that's just him reiterating something that they've been standing by for a long time, because they want to continue to have this dominance, because Miyamoto's not going to be 97 years old making Mario.
Yeah.
We need the next Mario.
Mm-hmm. And it can't die when he retires. So,
Right.
Yeah. I think... Yeah, go ahead, Logan.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, it's always good to see like Nintendo like just express how much they care about, you know, the quality of their content. I mean, it's like AJ said, it's evident at the, you know, we've known this for a long time that they care about the quality of their. They're not just they never just threw out anything, you know, and it stands to reason that they want to make sure that the developers are up to par, and because they have that standard that they want to keep, you know.
Yeah.
You know, close to their name, and you know, it's like they can't just like throw out anything, and it makes sense that they want to improve the team. Because if everybody's strong, then we're all strong, you know.
I mean, that's what we saw with Metroid Prime 4 too. I guess that just kind of goes hand in hand.
Yes, that was great. That was great. I love that.
Exactly.
I love that, because this is like, okay, you know, we don't like this, we're scrapping everything.
Yep.
And you know, and then you know, people were upset about that. I mean, understandably so, because like, you know, this is the year we didn't hear anything, and then we finally heard something. We're like, okay, update. All right. Okay. We have nothing. You know, it's like, so
I feel like Sony made delays cool.
Yeah.
I feel like them like parading out their their pitch meetings. I think the fact that they have multi-million-dollar pitch meetings at E3 every year, that makes people expect that. They're just down.
Yeah.
They're like, hey man, if in 7 years I get the best game I ever played in my life, delay it again, you know? Keep delaying it.
Yep. I think the part that I thought was neat too was, and also can kind of be seen with the Metro Prime 4 thing, is towards the beginning he talks about how they're also working with other companies on software development and stuff. So like that they're getting the outside studios to help with inside projects, which
like Bandai.
Yeah, exactly. Like Bandai with I mean Super Smash Brothers, and also with Metroid Prime 4 theoretically. Good point. And so I think that's good too, because it feels like they're, instead of using like all of their really good resources on a couple projects, they're allocating it out to where they can theoretically, you know, people who are really good at developing teams maybe can head up stuff with more resources. And man, I mean, I could be totally wrong. Maybe, you know, the software isn't where I expect it to be in a certain number of years, but already compared to the Wii U, I feel like it's just gonna, I don't know, snowball into just so many more games coming out, and that they're on great pace to do that, which is very exciting for me.
With this in the picture, I feel like Miyamoto kind of sneaked this Bandai Namco. Because like those two things combined, and then you bring Bandai Namco in the picture, where he's like, yeah, we want to work with a lot more third parties, but like at the end of the day, we got to make our own stuff because they kind of suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Am I crazy by thinking that? That's what it feels like. Where he's like, yeah, Bandai Namco messed up. No, I'm not going to say who I'm talking about, but y'all know who I'm talking about. You know, like
Yeah.
Rip. Rip. But yeah, I think that the Wii U kind of inspired this whole approach in a lot of ways, because they've been working with Smash Brothers. Smash 4 Wii U and 3DS was like the first time that they did that in terms of like bringing Bandai Namco in to work on the game.
Right.
Of course, they've always had like bits and pieces contributed by other studios because they would have to legally,
right? Yeah,
for a lot of Smash Brothers stuff. But like for instance, with Brawl with somebody at Square Enix helping write the Subspace Emissary plot. I don't remember. It's one of the Final Fantasy dudes. I just don't know if it was Tetsuya Nomura or somebody else.
No. It was too straightforward for that. No, I don't know.
It definitely wasn't straightforward. But yeah. So yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Speaking of it makes sense. NES games for this month.
You just took my. I don't like that. Try it again.
Just everybody say it together. That'll work.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying I basically said that for the last segue. I hate it.
Yes.
We're talking about NES games for February.
All right. Super Mario Bros. 2 and Kirby Adventure.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that Super Mario Bros. 2...
Oh my god.
It made me so happy to see the number. Like, not being Bob, but getting to experience that from an outside perspective is muy buenísimo. Lots of fun.
Oh my goodness.
I had to do that immediately. I had to be like, I gotta tweet this at Bob. This is the best tweet.
It was good. But yeah, those are fun games. I think, honestly, I've never played either of them, so I'm about to find out.
You never played Kirby's Adventure?
Never played Kirby's Adventure. I've never had an NES. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
Me neither.
So I'm excited.
This is a fact.
You neither that you've never played it, as well as...
Yeah, I never
Nice.
played Kirby's Adventure. Nope.
Noise.
How dare you.
Logan, have you been playing any of the games? Or I mean, like, maybe not recently, but when it first came out, did you play any of the games on the NES Online stuff, or is that not really up your alley?
Oh yeah. When it first came out, I was on it, but yeah, it's time when I was like, okay, all right, forget it. You know, I'm done. I'm good off
Yep.
this. I haven't revisited that in such a long time, especially with obviously Smash coming, Smash out. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I forgot there's even on there. Honestly, I was like, oh yeah, that is a thing. I just want more consoles.
Yeah.
Come down. That's it. But
Yeah, give me...
that's all I need.
I mean, here's the thing.
what I
It's
was gonna
on
say. Give me
February...
GameCube.
Sorry, what?
I said, give me GameCube.
Yeah. So these games are coming out on February 13th, but also maybe on February 13th direct. So like,
Direct.
maybe. I don't know.
Then
I
they
feel
will
like
directly tell us that the SNES is coming to the Switch. And we can
Wouldn't
all
it
be
be
excited.
lovely?
Come directly to us. To you and me.
Oh my god. Yeah, that'll be awesome.
yeah. No, I'm really excited for theoretically having the SNES coming around the corner, because a lot of those games too. I mean, I've got an SNES Classic, but I just don't sit down and play it very often. But I would love to play a lot of those games on the Switch.
Man, all I need is SNES, and all I need is Earthbound for that. Then that would just be so much love. I'd be like, okay, I'm playing this, and I'm freaking, because I had it on the Wii U, but I don't know, I mean, it was on the Wii U, so I mean, come on.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, just like everything else on the Switch, it'll be improved. I'll be freaking,
Honestly, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I'll be better experience.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's something that I pick up. Like, I pick up the Switch every day
Yeah.
for something. So like having games that I like on that platform from past platforms is cool, you know?
Yep.
That said, it sounds great and I'll play it a lot when it happens, but ultimately I'm probably going to go back to Smash. Who are we kidding?
Yeah.
Who are we kidding?
Very true.
We need these like Luigi's Mansions and Pokemons and Animal Crossings and all that stuff for me to take prolonged period of time away from Smash. And by that, I mean like probably like a solid 2 weeks.
Yep. I mean, honestly, with this kind of thing too, it's all that it's doing for me is mostly just increasing my backlog. Cause like, I'm excited that Link's Zelda 2 Link's Adventure is on there now. And I've never played that one. And I'm excited for these and stuff. But like, there's already a bunch of games on the NES online stuff that I haven't played. I've got my SNES Classic that I just haven't really played. I've got a bunch of GameCube games that I haven't played.
What?
I'm like,
you never played football on the NES? You're crazy.
I tried tennis and it was not good. That's for sure.
Golf, game of the year, man.
Come on.
Game of the year,
Game.
baby. Yeah, man alive.
Everybody's talking about KH3. I'm just playing football on the NES. Like, what?
Yeah. No, I mean, sports games anyway, I don't care about at all.
Yeah.
But then especially like, I mean, although that said, I'm sure, arcade sports games anyway are more fun than like the than like realistic ones to me, who doesn't care about sports.
Give
But
me Super Mario Strikers Charge 2. Give it to me now.
100%.
Put it on Switch.
the other kind of football, the European kind of football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're gonna do golf first.
Yeah, I think so too. Something else that's on Switch and we like is HD Rumble. I don't know if you guys care much about HD Rumble. I think it's cool. I enjoy it a lot. But this was just a little fun article that Faizan Abid or something like that.
I think you said that beautifully, but go on.
Thank you so much. Who made the game Holy Potatoes, We're in Space, which is great.
That's a name.
That's a name. All right. Like, I don't even know what the game is based off that, but it's something. But yeah, he was talking to Nintendo Life, or maybe Nintendo Life just reported on there or something, but about HD Rumble. And it's one of those things that I've wondered for a while, like how hard is it actually to implement? Not that I do any kind of game development, but there's just some games that really do a good job at it, but are smaller budget, or, you know, like indie games that maybe you wouldn't think have as many resources to do that kind of thing. And so is it something that's hard, or, you know, whatever. So, but he talked about it in any case, and he said, for the Rumble feature, I can use any kind of sound effect I have in the game and generate the Rumble effect. So it will actually follow the exact wave pattern. It's so easy to use. I can just input a sound effect and output the Rumble. So what we did was had over 100 sound effects in the game. Obviously, we're not doing Rumble for everything, but we took all sound effects in the game, the weapon fire and everything, ran it through a script that converts it into Rumble. We actually put in everything, but we realized it was too much. We cut it down, and we have a little bit left, and we still think it's a bit too much. And then he laughs.
So they just went Rumble happy.
Pretty much.
They're like, oh, this is awesome. This is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that feature. It's cool.
Yeah,
It's neat.
me too. Did you guys play Golf Story at all when that came out?
Nah.
No, I did say this thing. I got interested in it. I wanted to. Off saying, I forget what video I saw. I'm like, this looks pretty cool, but I never
You probably
got
saw
around
it
to
in my video.
Probably, mostly.
It's
Blessing.
yeah, I
Talk
played
about
it, and it's great. But honestly, one of the coolest things that it does, not a thing that it does very well in any case, is the usage of the HD Rumble. Is like, it's kind of like how in some other games it'll make actual sound effects. I mean, kind of like he says in here, as opposed to just like rumbling when you do something. And I mean, like Mario Odyssey.
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Mario Kart does it too.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, it's really neat where like if you, I think when you putt, as soon as the ball actually goes in, if you have the HD Rumble on, it goes like, tick, 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 like, like the ball in the hole, which is just like such a cool little touch. But it's something
Smash Brothers.
It does.
uses
Smash does it
HD
great.
Rumble, which I was like,
Oh my god, it is such a great. Oh my, I just love the way. I love the way it's used.
When I
Because
first felt it, I was like, "What? Like, what just happened?"
Yeah.
Like, and I knew, like, obviously, HD Rumble has been a thing for way longer than Smash Brothers Ultimate has been.
Right.
But it just was like,
Doesn't it
like
just
when
feel
you
great?
use like, What?
doesn't it just feel great? I just
yeah,
love.
but it's like. It's so weird, like how what is it called? The Super Scope. When you charge that, it's like a deep, like a doom, like kind of, you know, like it's like what the heck? Like,
yeah,
it's cool.
That's so much work to put into it, but it's so great. I think it's
Apparently, it's not.
right.
Apparently
Well,
it's
that's
not.
a good point.
I know.
I think one of the things that I enjoy about Smash in general, it's like so gratifying to do certain things, like the last hit of the game when it like freeze frames for a second and zooms in.
Right.
And so doing that with having the HD Rumble 2, like just, and I have mine turned off a lot of the time because I'll play in bed and my wife's asleep or whatever. And like, it's a little bit loud. It's not loud, but it's just loud enough that it's kind of annoying to somebody else in any case. So then I had it turned off, and then one day I turned it on for, I don't know, some other game, and left it on and was playing Smash and was like, oh my goodness, I've been missing out this whole time.
Yeah. It gives it that. It also gives it a sense of realism as well. You know, things you feel the impact of these hits, and it just adds that level of that layer to the game, and it just makes it that much more enjoyable to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I had the same experience as AJ when I first played. I was like, what? I was like, oh,
Like a little massage on my fingers.
I was like, oh, okay, sweet. Yeah, it was something. I was like, man, I just little things like that. I'm like, I just can't go back to Smash 4. I just can't. I could never do it. Which have you guys went back and just saw the way that game played? I'm like, wow,
I'm surprised you don't
that
want
looks
to go back to
gross.
Smash 4.
It's just
because
so
there's
slow.
a lot of stuff There's a lot of stuff that you utilize in that game that's like, man, this made Logan really good at this game. That you're able to avoid, like abuse and roll. Mario's cape in that game. Just generally air dodging is a lot easier in that game. And this game's like, nope, you're not doing any of that.
Do we see it? Just out of curiosity, you guys are probably more in touch with the Smash community and stuff than I am. How much has the Melee community died down, if at all, in results to Smash Ultimate?
It's not dying at all.
I mean, it's pretty. It seems like it's pretty unrelated in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's unrelated. But I think that Ultimate is being helped by the Melee community in a lot of ways, because like Smash 4, like at first some Melee players were like, maybe, you know, and ultimately they fell off. Yeah. Ultimately. But anyway, with Ultimate, there's a lot of like bigger Melee players that are like, nope, this is also my game. I'm also playing this.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that that's good, because it is like a mixture of Smash 4 and also Melee, like kind of combined together. So,
we all know we want to go back to Brawl, though, or 64. I'm just kidding.
I'm not trying to go back to anything. Every time it's like every Smash Brothers game that has ever released, I have never thought to myself, I'm going to go back to the last one and play that.
Mm-hmm. Never.
The other game died in my mind as soon as the next one comes out.
And that's how it should be for games. Like you should get that quality improvement upon installments, but that's how not the case. But as far as Melee goes, I think it's pretty much at this point, it's like people who love that just love that, and you know they're not changing.
Yep.
I'm just glad they're being less pretentious about the newer game now.
Right. Speaking of newer game, this is a newer arena game, Apex Legends.
Arena game? Who calls it? Arena game. What a
it's one of these battle royale things.
Yeah,
this fad.
Arena games. You sound like my grandpa. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Apex Legends. That's the EA game.
Have you
remember everybody hated them?
Yeah.
Remember everybody hated them?
Up until this week.
Like, everybody was like, oh man, like look at their stock. Their stock dropped because everybody hates them, and then they put out this game and everybody loves this game.
Yep.
And
don't worry. Don't worry.
They're above that.
They're gonna be hated again. Anyway, have you guys played this game?
No.
Nope.
I don't turn on my PlayStation. Are you stupid?
You haven't played? Okay.
No. Have you?
No. I've heard of it. I've seen people play it. I haven't played it myself. I was like, oh, that looks neat. I'm not partaking, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not at all interested. If it comes to Switch, though, maybe.
You could stream it at least once. Say you did.
Yeah, I mean, I streamed freaking Fortnite twice, and I hated it.
Yeah, honestly, I can't really get into battle royale stuff. It's just, I mean, again, if I'm not competitive with games that I do like Smash, then definitely games that I don't like, I'm not going to care about staying in for like 40 minutes to try to, you know, win and not die and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I just don't even care even a little bit. But I'm glad people like them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We've got 10 million concurrent. I mean, not concurrent. 10 million players and 1 million concurrents. Last time I checked in on that.
Yep.
So good for EA. You know, everybody, the people's champ.
Yep.
Everybody wants to see them win.
But yeah, I am curious because the dude apparently had said, like, he was asked if it was coming to Switch or whatever, and he said, yeah, they'd love for it to come to Switch and mobile, but they have nothing to announce for it right now. So, like, I don't know. Sometimes that seems like just, you know, like anytime Reggie says that,
I feel like
I don't like those announcements. Where it's like,
I feel like most times where a third party says that they would love for the Switch, unless it's like some like low rung on the ladder, you know, like the assistant programmer or whatever. It's like, I wanted to come, but like whenever a studio says like, yeah, we would like to develop for this platform, it generally happens. So I mean, I wouldn't be super shocked to see it come to the Switch, especially from EA, because EA is like notorious for not even like laughing, like the Titanfall. That studio specifically, when people were like, "Is Titanfall ever going to come to the Switch?" and he laughed.
Yeah,
not that dude,
right?
Obviously, but yeah, it's like, ugh.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm curious. I feel like we probably wouldn't see it. It could be one of those things. I feel like we wouldn't see it for a while, only just because otherwise they would have just dropped it at the same time as all the other ones. But I mean, then again, we all know Nintendo's real weird about like having their release schedule and all that kind of stuff. So maybe they just wanted to save it for a direct anyway, even though, to have their own hype for it instead of the general hype that already exists, and so they can have their schedule. Who's to say? And you guessed it, that's where it cut off. So there's about another hour of that existed in the history and the ether sphere of talking, but actually doesn't exist on recording. So all that said, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Go ahead, and we've got videos coming out. Tuesday, we've got AJ's video at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on the Fanatics 4 channel, and then Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, my video will go up, and then Logan's on Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So 4 p.m. Eastern Time, each of those weekdays. Go ahead and check those videos out. Sorry again that this episode had some weird technical stuff. We'll do our best to make sure it never happens again. So thanks so much, and have a great week. Bye.